All right, I guess we're live now. This is probably going to be a short stream because I don't have the patience to deal with it tonight. I've had some technical problems, and yeah, I'm just kind of over it in general. So, uh, thank you to those that are here. Grish is here. TVJ is here.
Josephus.
Is here. Um, David is here. Right, describe you used to number two. Oh my. Um, yeah. So I've had some StreamYard issues as of late, with them adding beta features. Some of the core stuff is, I don't know. So I may be expediting my move away from StreamYard and um, testing out a couple other things over the course of the next couple of weeks because this is getting ridiculous and I'm over it. Um, so, uh, what did I want to talk about tonight? Well, I rediscovered, I should say, um, Net Alert X. So previously, this was known as Pi Alert. That project went stale and they stopped developing it. And Net Alert was born from the ashes like a phoenix in, I don't know, beginning of 2023, I guess. And I think I'd been peripherally aware that it existed and that somebody was working on it. Uh, but it wasn't until I saw the video that Tom Lawrence put out yesterday that I decided I would jump back into this and take another look. Um, so what this is you can think of it as something like Uptime Kuma on steroids. Um, see if that mention gets me demonetized for this, but uh, anyway, so it has various mechanisms to scan your network. It will work across VLANs. But as you can see, it's currently showing 39 devices, 38 connected. I'm sure the one that's not connected right now is my laptop that I had out in the other room. So it gives you a number of things. It will give you a list of your devices. It will try to pull the host name, the IP address, the MAC address, and it tells you what plugin was used to collect this data, right? So if we go into the Net Alert X item, this is actually going to have some, I think it's going to have some information that is not actually correct. But anyways, I just got this installed today. I've not played with it too much, but some of the stuff that I have seen, if we click on the plugin up here at the top, it will give you logs showing what it's running. There are various tools built into the back end. Delete devices with empty MAC addresses, delete all devices, delete all events older than 30 days, things of that nature. You've got to back up and restore. You've got integrations. So, like I said, I have not gone through this in detail at this point in time. So I don't know, like this one here, if we we could do that and change the name, because I know that's the only Zyzel device I've got on my network is a managed switch currently. And of course, you can toggle off the new device checkbox, right? So yeah, this is really quite cool. This is like I said, it's a fork of PyAlert. And it definitely is a piece of software that I'm going to have to look more closely at the documentation for, just because there are a lot of options here, and in order to get these get everything set up properly, I need to dig in a little bit, right? So anyway, like I'm not sure what the frequency is that this is running at, but it appears to be on an almost constant loop. I would prefer that to be like once every 30 minutes or something. But so like this is set to every 5 minutes using crontab guru. So if we change this to every 30th minute, which I think is great that they link that. That will certainly cut down on the number of scans that are going to happen during the live stream. Provided that this saves. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Wax on, wax off. So if we come back, here, and I don't know, let's start the, that's on local, that's fine. Let's start the DAF file demo VM. And that's on 195. Okay, so we've got DAF file running. And that's fine that it's got no audio device. I'm not worried about that. So so at 10, provided we're still online. At 10, it should rerun the scan, and we should go up to 40 devices, and it should increase my devices to 40 and connected to 39, right? So we'll see if that fires at 10. All right, so if we take that out, we'll give it a few minutes and go from there. So anyway, Net Alert X, it's open source. I have this running on a container with a Lexi container with Docker installed inside it, and then Net Alert installed on Docker. So yeah. Anyway, I guess that's the Cliff's Notes version of what I was going to talk about tonight. I'm just not sure I'm in the mood to do this, right? We'll go until maybe 10:30, but I'm not guaranteeing anything after that. I need that shirt. Hey, Alonzo. Oh no, I'm even further down. Wait, I got it back. If I had to give feedback to the developers, I would rename Decides to Hosts. You mean devices? I think you mean devices. You can have a host, but many VMs, not a device technically. Yeah, I would have to agree with that. Jacob, welcome in. Crap, lost it again. What did I do this weekend? Well, with the rain and everything, my bum ankle was aching a whole lot, so I didn't do much. I was just trying to stay off the ankle and not aggravate it further. And so I watched a lot of TV, mostly YouTube, in all honesty. But I did watch a couple of movies yesterday. One of which was called Convict. It was a movie on Amazon Prime, and it was almost like they were trying to pass it off as happening in the U.S., but they all had British accents, and the steering wheel was on the right-hand side of the car instead of the left-hand side of the car. And yeah, there were a lot of British eccentricities that existed in this movie. I suspected as much. Yeah. Ever since I went on that long hike a couple weeks back, I think I aggravated that ankle, and it's just made the weather changes worse because I know I've got arthritis in that ankle. And while it felt great to get out and go for a long walk, um, it's been a um, rather consistent achiness in the ankle ever since, which has not improved my mood on getting things done. Um, Actually, I didn't even go downstairs to get the package that I had delivered today. Um, so yeah, it's been interesting. Getting old sucks. And you know what they say, only the good die young. So I guess I'm screwed on that front. So anyway, I suppose we could go back over here. So I'm under maintenance and the backup and restore. This is cool that it will let you export your list of devices as a CSV file. Well, let's just for grins do that. And um, so it gives you the MAC address, device name, owner, type, vendor, whether it's a favorite, first connection, last connection, last IP address. Static IP address is a binary, 0 for no, 1 for yes. And yeah. So I could see where this could be useful in a small business or I don't know. It could be useful beyond home lab. I would actually consider running this at the library. Um, and yeah, it'd be interesting to generate a report or export the data every 6 months or so. Let's go back to devices. Waiting for that to find my DAF file server because it is now 10. So we'll see if this actually runs. I got a new alert. Go to report. Link notification not found. Interesting. Yeah, let's go back to devices. 39, 2 connected. That's interesting. That's interesting. Go to report. We've got DAF file on 195. Can we sort this? No, we cannot. I see 192. I do not see 195. Interesting. I also think it's interesting that it dropped from 38 to 2 for connected devices. I don't know. I'll have to play with this some more. I'm a little confused why it would drop that far. Let's see. Device scanners. Let's change it back to every 5 minutes just for grins. That's every 5 minutes. That needs to go back to every 5 minutes. And we'll save that. Make no guarantees. Device scanner schedules are out of sync. Fine, I understand they're out of sync. Yeah, now everything is messed up. So that's fine. Schedules 5 minutes. Do that. Well, save that again. $22.04. Okay, there's the DAF file. Okay, so now we're at 40 and 39, which is what I expected to happen. So what kind of information does it give us about Daffile? Okay, device type. Huh. Okay. Data file is actually a VM. Okay. See if this reloads for us or not. So I guess I can let's see. I come back here. Just curious. Um, I had an interesting yeah, this one. I have done exactly what you explained, but the health restore does not commence. Instead, it gives me error 50. Do you have a solution? Literally, I typed in DISM error 50. Attempting to service or repair a Windows image that is not running in an online context. I don't know. Maybe I'm a prick, but they could have literally saved themselves typing by just putting DISM error 50 into Google. Maybe I'm just getting crotchety in my old age, but I don't know. There are days that I have very little patience for that kind of ignorance. Um, but actually, what I was going to say, and I think I'm going to clip this later. I just want to take a moment to thank the haters out there. Did you know that when you give me a thumbs down, it actually helps my video? So here's a tip. If you don't like the video, just go away. There we go. So yeah, that's going to get clipped. That'll be my public service announcement in a short form tomorrow. It seems like every video I put out lately that gets any sort of traction at all has no more than 2 people. Usually it's just 1, but no more than 2 that give it a thumbs down. And it's like, you're actually helping the video by doing that. You know, stop being an anonymous coward. Either say something and say why you don't like the video, or just go away. It's that easy. Now, if the YouTube deities would bother giving us information on, I don't know what IP address or where, what country the people giving a thumbs down come from, or I don't know, give us geo blocking capabilities, I would just block countries outside the US, a good majority of them, especially the ones that don't speak English, and just be done with it. I don't know. I just I'm getting to that point. I've reached and passed the point, and I'm just going to say IDGAF. You know, if you don't like the video, make a better video, or P155 off. That's what I've got to say about it. And to quote Ozzy Osbourne, P155 off. See you next Tuesday. Oh, wait a minute. You effing see you next Tuesday. I'm in a mood tonight, if you couldn't tell. I'm sure everybody's getting a good laugh out of this. It's part of the reason I do it, for comedic purposes, but yeah. I'm sure nobody in my audience has any trouble figuring out what see you next Tuesday means. And don't spell the words out, just the first 2 are just letters. So yeah, I'm still using the AI tool. I've not been using it quite as much. Let me get logged back into it. Let's jump back here again. So nothing new has come out. So yeah, I've played with building a script for the Fogmaster class. I've done a few other things with that. But I've been playing with, I think I've been playing with the chat the most. And you know, it's kind of fun going through some of this, just to use it as as a way to generate ideas. So, you know, I could take one of my videos. Let's do this one. Get shareable link, and we'll pop back over here. Um, let's see. So, did that not copy the correct? Well, maybe that did. 10 follow-up video ideas. And this was for the Windows 10 ending soon video. So explore this video idea in more detail. And so it goes through and it tells you, you know, this idea has potential because, and it gives you some ideas. So yeah, I don't hate this. And then you could have it create a script outline. So I could see where when I talk about the save money piece of this, have it have a screen filled with dollar bills and cash register sound in the background. I don't know. So I don't know. This might be something that I would consider actually making this video. Actionable next step. We can generate specific shot recommendations for each section of this outline. Oh, that's an interesting thought. Generate shot recommendations. Why not? Who needs to hire a consultant when you can consult the AI? Centralized file storage. Screen recording showing accessing files on the server from a laptop. Now that's an interesting idea. What footage do I have? So now I want to play. So one thing that Camtasia gives me. Oh, go away. Curious about AI for video? View the highly rated session for best practices and how-to later. Okay, Camtasia assets. Frames, is it? What do they call those? Footage, titles. Preview. Okay, so that is a piece of footage I could use. What I want to do is I want to throw that on track 2. Blow this up. And we're going to make this smaller. Move it off to the side for a minute. And what I want, there's something, doggone it. I'm still trying to get straight in my head all the terminology that they introduced in their training. Not animations. Doggone it. Camtasia PC frame. I don't know. Customizable device frames. That's what I want. So here we go. MacBook Pro laptop computer. Of course, when I restarted my computer, it knocked me out of everything. Sign in. Thank you. Okay, so let's do the MacBook Pro. Send to Camtasia. Open link. Add to find default is whatever. And so is that going into media? No. Let's look at another one. Let's do a MacBook Air. Send to Camtasia. Always open link. All right. So media. So if we now put this on, and we switch to pinning, we can, that's not what I want. Well, no. Auto animate mode to add animations to the timeline as you edit media on the canvas. Well, now that's not doing what I wanted it to do. Still too big. Because I had the wrong one selected. Okay, here we go. So now we can have, well, that's kind of what I wanted. So now it actually shows, and it doesn't help that that's zooming in. If it were static, then I'd be okay. Oh well. So there's that, I guess. We'll just delete this. So yeah, and there's all kinds of iPhones and iPads and generic monitors. Some of these have to be static and not like moving around, I would hope. But anyway, I've got options. I've got more options with Camtasia that I've had before. So so yeah. There's the print server, which is still up and running. They still haven't addressed the issue I reported to them about, why don't you have update servers in the US? But maybe they'll get to it. Manual Nmap scans. That's interesting. Well, that was definitely a fast scan. What if we do detailed scan? It's cool that this has Nmap built in. It certainly makes Nmap more accessible for the beginners, right? So, let's see. You're getting much more cheery in your 50 plus years. Gee, thanks. Sarcasm, Joe. Did you watch Tony's video yesterday on the Grand Stream router? Yes. Reminds me, I get irritated when I come across a video with an English title, but the actual video is in another language. Oh my gosh, you're speaking my language there, Grish. It's really freaking annoying, and especially the ones that don't even have an English subtitle track. It's not just comedic, it's practical. I pay for the practicality and enjoy it. Appreciate that. Another thing I hate is press 1 for English when I call an American company. Yes. Squirrel. ADHD, or was there a squirrel in the stream? Windows stream on a Mac, trippy. Yeah, I know, it was a bad example. It was the only footage I had right at my fingertips that I could use. Tech for fun, Macrosoft. That alert looks nice. I have a MikroTik router now, and I love how it's kind of like NetAlert and Nmap with scripts. Yeah. I haven't used MikroTik in a good while, but I know they've got some good features if you can get past their crazy looking interface. I think the press 1 for English stops robocallers. Yeah. Well, so on my business line, I've actually got it set up so it will give you a random number that you have to type in to get connected. And I probably lost a bunch of business doing that, but I'm going to be changing that here shortly, and looking at it from a different angle. So anyway, I do like that you can do the detailed Nmap scan and collect all kinds of information. HTTP title. Site doesn't have a title. That's great. Anyway, so we could go into any of the devices. So let's pick on the Comet. I'll just do the quick scan. That is for 222, which I believe that's a Comet. No, that's a Comet. That's up to date. Still only one app in the apps plural center. So so yeah, if we come into details, type of device, well, did it not save the device? Oh, it did save virtual machine. And just put the others in alphabetical order that I added. I know I added container as well. So we're going to make a device type called KVM. Wow. Okay, so now I want to know owner. All right. Let's save that again just to be sure. All right, so we've gone back to the 5-minute scan time. So if we come back to Proxmox, and let's fire up I don't know, let's go over to here. As this has hardly anything running. Let's fire up this extra instance of Open Media Vault. Is the storage on this machine? No, it's not. That is, so we could fire that up just for grins, and we could fire up that one. Okay, so at 1040, we should generate a couple more items on the network. But let's see. Got the hex refresh 2025. Oh, I don't know. So anyway, yeah, it's been interesting. Open up YouTube again here. Like the, well, I mean, this is a good example. Oh, it actually got me a subscriber and 24 cents. I'm rich. I'm rich. I'll try not to spend my 24 cents all in one place. I promise. Content suggesting this video. How to set up Windows. Tiniest shivering puppy rescued from the... What? And a couple of videos that aren't even in English are recommending my Windows 10 as ending video. I don't understand it. Where? Oh, that was probably in TubeBuddy. Can I get into TubeBuddy on here? Yes. This doesn't give me the same things it gives me on my phone version. Health report. Yeah, engagement. Last 30 days. Comments 73, up 7.35%. Thumbs up 593, down 5.57%. And thumbs down up 4% to 26. It's like, just go away. Just, I don't know. I rarely give a video a thumbs down. Rarely. I mean, the ones that I do are the ones that, have the title in English and no English subtitle even. So it looks like my biggest demographic is 25 to 44. (53.1%) watching on a computer. I think this is overstating the amount on a phone, but United States, India, Germany, UK, and Canada. So I don't know. It's just interesting that oh yeah, I could just come over here. 92.9% likes. One thumbs down. One thumbs down. One thumbs down. 0, 0. Some of them are only getting one like. Yeah, one thumbs down. It's like, what am I saying controversial in midweek news that you know? I'm giving my take on the news and I'm providing links in the description. People don't like my take on it, they can go read the article or they can P155 off. Or as I like to say, they can go P155 up a flagpole. See how well that works out for them. Anyway, it's been a couple minutes. Let's check and see if this did, in fact. Hey, look at that. 42 devices. Go to report. So 161 and 189. Neither of them have host names, apparently. So 195 is DAF file. So we spun up .161 is Pi-hole 6. And micro-win is going to be, doesn't have guest editions running. That's interesting. This is one I'm sure I haven't updated in a couple of weeks. PVE, micro-win PVE 2. Of course, he wants the verification code every flippin' time. Every flippin' time. Micro-win PVE 2, that's going to have a bunch of crap that needs to be installed, so we might as well run updates. Cumulative, defender, security, malicious software removal. Okay. Deploy. Go for it. All right. Anyway, this is something I'm going to be playing with, I think, for a while. And I mean, I can got the other laptop over here. Could fire this up too. And that probably won't hit until the 1055 run. Okay, that is up and running. So anyway, yeah, I'm kind of interested to get this running on the library network, because it can also be set up, and I don't have VLAN set up on my network currently, but you can set it up so that it's it looks for the for a VLAN too. So that would be interesting to see. Plugins. Vendor update. Okay. Sync Hub. Email publisher. NS lookup. Yeah, the Avahi scan actually does a better job of getting the host names. So, anyway. Name not found. That's interesting. Pulls Grandstream, but it doesn't have a host name. Supermicro Wise. I'm not sure what the 95. What is 95? It's not got a web server running. That's Supermicro Wise, which is going to be more than likely a camera. Google could be a phone or my Google Home. Shenzhen AZW is the B-Link. 127. I'm surprised that's not finding a name for that, because that's one of the Proxmox nodes. That's PVE01. Roku. Dell. Supermicro. 219, I believe, is Supermicro backend interface. GLINet Ubiquity, so that's going to be an access point. There's 227. Oh. Okay, 127 is actually a VM for data center manager. I haven't actually checked on this to see if it's had any updates lately. Module to search for files based on roles. Yeah, not anything significant. That can wait. 230. That's going to be the Monarca server, which I'm probably way overdue to do an update on this. Oh yeah, I've got like 3 different accounts on this server. because I was doing some interesting configuration work for a while there. One thing I do need to do is come over here. Why am I typing this out? So, last I looked, Monarca was going to be releasing a version 6.1 of their software here soon. I swear I saw something about it was under downloads, maybe pre-releases, beta version. Yep, so they've got 6.1 in beta right now. And they've introduced compatibility with Debian Trixie, which is version 13 that's going to be out probably July or August. And it's got a new API, so completely revised documentation. That's always a plus. It's always a plus. So yeah, I probably should do a new video on Monarca, and maybe I'll reinstall the server and do a complete reconfiguration on that. So anyway, I knew I was overdue on updates for that. So while I was thinking about it, might as well run updates. Kind of the story of my life. Let's see. The previous message was deleted. Shivering puppies and Jeremy. What'd you do to the puppy? Why is it shivering? Have a good night, Alonzo. Need to head out, put the kids to bed. Have a good night, Grish. I know this is a little later than normal. So this is updating it to Monarca server 6.0.6. Okay. Let's go ahead and reboot that server. Let's see how long it takes for this to come back up. Anyway, we're up to 43 devices now. Yeah, there's the other laptop. So what's going to be interesting is T460. Details. Type. Laptop. We'll save that. We'll do default scan. Huh. Default scan. Internal error. Fast scan. Well, that's interesting. IP address is not valid. Huh. All right. That's interesting. Well, obviously, I have to go through the documentation on this because there are things that aren't quite working the way I think they should work. Designed for Docker. Offline is the other laptop. Built on 6/8/2025. The thing I find funny about this is check out what I'm working on, and it links to a GitHub entry from 2022 that's closed. Legacy upgrade removal and fully qualified domain names. Yeah, fine. I'm not worried about updates from PyAlert because I'll just delete my PyAlert container. I'm going to leave this running for a while and see how it goes. I do want to go out to the website and where are the docs? It's got an installer for Unraid. Aren't you running Unraid, Josephus? I don't see anything for documentation, though. So I did check earlier from the laptop in the living room, and it is available on Casa OS as well. So if you're running Casa OS and you want to run Net Alert X, you can do that on Casa OS. Which is kind of nice. As much as I like to tinker with Docker, there are times when I just want something to be low maintenance, and Casa OS kind of hits that sweet spot for me. Why is it not showing those are already approved? I don't want to search, I want to reload. Anyway, there it goes. What am I missing for critical updates right now? Yeah, it's a customer computer. I'm about ready to just remove his machine out of here and not worry about it, as he hasn't been online to get the updates. Last seen April 9th. Makes me nervous that he's letting that computer get that far out of date on the updates. So, guessing that most of those are on his machine. But that makes me kind of nervous with the CVSS scores being that high, an 8.8. Maybe that's, no, yeah, that machine's off. All right, well, it's really not as bad as it looks. Network driver .net network, oh, Bluetooth drivers. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to split some things out differently so that I'm not having the high number on my main dashboard. But hey, it's all good. Hmm. Oh, 22.2 Mint 22.2 will feature fingerprint authentication with FingWit app. Honestly, I'm more looking forward towards Linux Mint Debian Edition, the next version. Because I think that's going to be more interesting. And that's a new in-house application. Interesting. Under the hood, the FingWit app relies on the well-known fprintd daemon, provides a smarter PAM module, allowing the application to detect problematic cases and dynamically switch between fingerprint and password authentication. Interesting. The work on fingerprint authentication in Linux Mint 22.2 was boosted by Linux Mint's continued collaboration with Framework. That's nice. Final version is expected sometime in June or July 25. Beta will be available in the coming weeks. That should be interesting. Since I've got one of my laptops running Mint, I will probably upgrade to the beta because why not? Why not? After all, I did spend 6 years testing software, so I'm not ill-equipped to handle such things. Mm. Uh, 6.16 is getting close. Probably in the next few days. Huh. Interesting. was something in gaming that I saw the other day that I meant to go out to Steam and look at and never did. The list of Mac devices rumored to get Mac OS 26. Now, I'm sure since I'm on an M1, I'm fine. Mac Mini, M1 and later, yes. So tomorrow is WWDC's kickoff, and I'm pretty sure my work schedule is open enough that I'll be able to watch that live. Last couple of years, I've had to work the desk shift at the library while the big announcement was going on. Gradia is a slick new screenshot annotation tool for Linux. That sounds interesting. That could be interesting. That could be interesting. Oh, another new Wireshark. Fixes one vulnerability and 8 bugs. All right. Well, Nintendo Switch 2 has record-breaking launch, sells over 3 million units. I guess if that's what you want to drop $500 on, go for it. Craft computing. I need to go back and rewatch that. I caught the tail end of it yesterday because I was watching Tony's stream, and I think it was Tony's stream. I missed the better part of this. I'll have to go back and watch that. Okay, now I'm caught up again. All right. Well, let's see. What are you expecting from Apple? I just want more details on Mac OS 26. I don't use iCloud. I don't use iPhone. I don't use their AI stuff. And you know, it's funny. I had somebody leave a long message diatribe, really, about how Apple and Microsoft are the same in their tactics. Um, and obviously, this comes from an individual that doesn't use both platforms and hasn't used both platforms in any recent context. While there is some overlap, at least with Apple on Mac OS, I can't speak to iOS, but on Mac OS, you can turn off Apple Intelligence and it doesn't come back on during the next update. You can turn off iCloud and it doesn't turn itself back on with the next update. With Windows, you've got to jump through all sorts of hoops to get rid of OneDrive and their stupid AI crap that they keep trying to integrate. And the last thing I want is an OS company taking constant screenshots of my desktop. Talk about an invasion of privacy. But, you know, if you're not paying for it, you're the product. And so I'll vote with my wallet. And that's why, other than this one B-Link box I've still got here that I'm testing with the GLINet comment, I have no other physical Windows machines on my network. When I need a Windows machine, I'll spin up a VM. And yeah, I've said it before, I'll say it again. My brain just thinks better in terms of Unixy type systems. And to each their own, but I'm beyond the point of giving a flying fart whatever anybody thinks of my decisions. I have to support Windows at work. I'm not going to use it at home. Sue me. I'm in need of a new iPhone. Limping with mine now. Lightning port is dead. Good thing you got wireless charging then, I guess. I'm assuming you've got wireless charging. Yeah, sounds like you need a new phone, Joe. All right. Yeah, I don't have wireless charging on my Pixel, but this has been a darn reliable little phone. I just wish the screen were a little bit bigger. So I got big hands and typing on it is sometimes a challenge, especially when I'm tired. Figure at this point I might as well wait for next iPhone in September. Yeah. Doesn't Apple, or is it some third party, don't they run isn't there a program where you can uh, just make monthly payments and every 2 years you just get a phone refresh? Is that direct through Apple, or is that a third party that runs that program? I think they just there was a third party that is doing it now for MacBooks or MacBook Pros, anyways. Um, so ooh, error. That's not good. Let's go into this. See if that connects. It should. That's supposed to be, there we go. Reboot now. Okay. I think it's actually every year. It includes the Apple Care warranty too. Recently, I've been buying outright and then keeping for 3 years, but I don't think it's in the budget this year. So I'll probably go back to the financing option. At least it's 0%. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm hoping to keep this Mac Mini until the M5 is out, anyways. And then I'll make this a secondary machine and hopefully get an M5 machine for primary editing. But then I can take this downstairs and at least do recording on it. And you know, have consistency through Camtasia that way. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for. And I had actually on a couple of occasions contemplated that Mac Mini that Tony had for sale, but given the fact that this has 16 gigs of RAM in it and the one he's got only has 8, I'm holding out for 24 gigs in an M5. Because I do feel a little constrained with 16 gigs on this. And so I'm operating under the idea that more is better. So anyway, LibreOffice 25202. That's got a 9.8 vulnerability on it. And they've only got a LibreOffice for Windows, apparently. Well, that sucks. All right. Well, I guess I need to do this. And get my LibreOffice updated. And that should make that a little happier. Yeah, on the phone front, Joe, I bought this Pixel outright. I actually got it off Amazon and it's unlocked. And I'm at the point now with phones. I don't care if I have to buy a generation behind current. I'm going to go to the Pro just for the extra size. So I think like I guess I could come back over here. I think like the 9 Pro. Doggone it. I think the 9 Pro is out for the Pixel now. I think they're coming out with the 10 in the fall. Yeah, so the 9 Pro actually has an XL variety, which I really don't want to pay $900 for it. That's not in my budget right now. But that's a 6.8 inch phone, and right now I've got the Google 6A, the Pixel 6A, which that's dropped in price. I think I paid about $400 for it. That is a 6.1 inch phone. So so yeah, I'm going to be looking at a different phone here in another year-ish. But if the phone is going to cost $1,000, I'd rather spend $1,000 on a newer Mac Mini. Honestly, the 9 is, what's the size screen on that? 6.3 inches. So that's 0.2 inches larger than the one I've got. And part of the reason that I'm contemplating going to a newer phone is because I will take the 6A and I will put an aftermarket firmware on it since it is unlocked. So anyway. So, but we're up to 7,263 subscribers. My last 3 videos are in the top 3 positions. I guess I can't complain about that. I'm still astounded that Midweek News 130 did as well as it did. Oh yeah, speaking of Midweek News, um, I'd call this inconclusive. Only got 25 votes. 40% move it to another channel. 36% keep it as is. I regret adding that as an option. I really do. I don't know what to do now. I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it until episode 140. And if I can repeat somehow the performance of episode 130 and get over 200 views in less than a week, then I'll keep them on this channel. I'll keep it on this channel. If it starts dropping down to where it was before, not getting 100 views in the first week, then it's going to another channel. And that's just where I'm at with it. It's just where I'm at with it. And I think that's a fair way to look at it. Because most of these are, under 100 views. And I admit, news does go stale fast if you're trying to keep up with the latest stuff. But also, if you've stepped away from it for a while, it's kind of a cool resource, in my opinion, to get back up to speed on things. So yeah, I don't know. If I can get the views up on this, a few weeks in a row, then I'll keep it here. If it starts dropping down to under 100 subscribers in the first week, it's moving to another channel. I'll give it another 10 episodes. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, the 14 Pro, and it's a nice size in the pocket, but watching videos and typing is hard. Yeah, yep. Be less hard with a bigger screen. Hashtag first world problems. Maybe a new poll with rephrased options. That's an idea. For the record, when I got the notification for the Windows 10 video, I immediately said that video will do well. Title is right, and it's a hot topic. Yeah, well, and that's what I was playing on. And honestly, I'm going to do a similar video every month until Windows 10 is done. Because not every time will people see or get the notification for the video. And it's like, all right, I'll play the game. I will play the game. Um, And I've got an idea on how I can do the next several videos as well. So, and part of it will involve making use of the Comet KVM or the Jet KVM. I guess it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I um I had the AI help me with the title on that one. I will admit. I'm not I'm not 100% satisfied with the thumbnail, but I also didn't spend more than 10 minutes on it. All I did was add a blur to the Windows desktop and then slap text on it. I figured it was simple and it would get the point across. But no, unfortunately. All right. Well, if this little butthead really wants to play that game with me, there. Okay. I suppose it's a good point to wrap up. It's 10 minutes to midnight. We've gone over 2 hours now. You have any parting thoughts, Josephus? I see there's 4 people watching, but I think you're the only one participating in chat anymore. maybe not my most engaging live stream, but hasn't been bad. Hasn't been bad. And we might actually make it to the 950 upload milestone by the end of the month. I think not including this video, we've got 22 to go. So once it updates, it should be 21 to go. And I'll undoubtedly put out some shorts this month. I just haven't been inspired to do them up to this point. So, all right, last call. Any final thoughts from anybody that's watching? If not, I'm going to wrap this up and get my phone on the charger, make sure I have clothes laid out for work tomorrow, and I get to go deal with printer issues in the morning. So I'm not really looking forward to that. Started happening Friday afternoon or late Friday morning, and gave me all kinds of grief all afternoon on Friday. I don't think that the support company ever sent me a response to my email request. And they did not. So, we'll see. No final thought. Have a good week. All right. Well, on that note, I'm going to wrap this. And I still haven't gone and picked up my package that was delivered downstairs earlier today. So I'm going to go do that so it's inside before I go to bed. And then I'm probably going to call tonight. So everybody have a good night and a good work week. And we'll likely be back on Wednesday evening. So have a good one, everybody.